Well, big, hot, semi-breaking news that is really affecting people personally. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen seem to be ending their marriage. They both have hired lawyers, it seems, according to Page Six. People
I can't talk about this.
I'm telling you, people have thoughts. The couple have been living separately for the past couple months following a fight, allegedly over Tom returning to the NFL. Tom and Gisele have been married since February 2019. Is that it?
19?
That can't be right. That can't be right. That was in the
Doesn't seem
article.
like
But
long enough.
no, because their children, first of all, are 12 and 9. Unless they were,
Married
late to the
2009 maybe?
That makes more sense.
Thank you, Page Six. Tom Brady's net worth, if you're interested, because these are always very accurate. 250 million. Gisele, approximately 400 million.
Now that's what you want, man.
Land on their feet. I have a scary guess though that I don't really want to put out into the ether. But do you think Pete Davidson's going to date Gisele?
Oh, I've been seeing
You
that
might date
meme
Tom.
around. Yeah, he gets to date whoever he wants. It seems, look, there's got to be a lot of pressure. If you want to be with Tom Cruise or anyone named Tom,
Sure.
There's going to be a lot of pressure.
Tom Hardy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have to,
Hanks.
it's going to be, you're going to be the lazy one. You're going to be the one in the closet eating the snack wells, and they're going to find the wrapper.
Sneaking
and
bagels
bust
to your
you.
kids for breakfast.
Yes, it's going to be. I think that's going to be pressure. It's always weird. The conceit of I'm going to divorce this person and never see them again because I wanted to see them more, but I had to do it on a limited basis.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing. It's like somebody said, like, I love In-N-Out burgers. Well, you can only eat In-N-Out burger once a month. Well, then fuck it, never.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like, well, if I really loved In-N-Out
only
burger, then I would settle with the once a month
Yeah.
It's a great
In-N-Out
day every month.
burger run. So if the argument is this, she wanted him to be at home. And by the way, what does that even mean for Tom Brady at home?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In one wing of the mansion versus
Right,
the
but
other.
who knows what plans they were making for their future? Who knows what they were going to do, going to move, going to do with the kids? And he said, nope, we're stuck doing this. And she's like, well, fuck it. I don't want to do that.
Pure speculation. Maybe the kids were, acting out because their dad wasn't home. Might have been misbehaving. Maybe
Who
like
knows?
going through some shit.
But then people don't retire from their jobs at 44 and a half. They have careers. You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
he go into analysts or play
Yeah,
with-
what I'm saying is Mark Garagos is, 64. He's not retiring. He's gone.
Right.
He's working. Is this conceit of like, you're 42, that's enough. It's sort of like, well no,
yeah.
you're working. Everyone works.
But when you have a combined total of almost $1 billion, maybe she did say, fuck it, it's time for us to chill. Who knows? Maybe she wanted to get back into modeling. Who fucking knows?
That said, I happen to know Tom Brady's got plenty of stuff, lined up. He's going down the Kobe route, producing films, doing all sorts of stuff. So I don't think, retirement, of course, that's not the retirement we all think of.
Right.
But is she going, I don't want him to get injured, or is she going, I don't want him to be distracted in a way? And or there is an entire off season in sports.
But does Tom Brady have an off season? Switch?
It sounds like to me like she would like to have a drink and chillax a little bit, and he's the motor man who's never gonna chillax. But if it's solely about playing another year of football, the season is 4 months or whatever. You have to build into it, but there is a longish off season. Mark Garagos doesn't have an off season; he just works. You know what I mean?
I wonder how much the Dolphins falling apart thing had to do with this. You're familiar, Tom? Well, after he left and retired from New England, there were some backdoor dealings, backroom dealings, whatever you call it, with the Dolphins, where he's going to become a part owner of the team and play for the team and live in Miami. I'm sure Gisele would rather live in Miami part-time than Tampa. No offense, Tampa listeners, but she's a worldly supermodel.
Yeah, I think him retiring and then coming out of retirement in 40 days or whatever it was probably knocked over the first domino.
Or maybe she's just not that into him, and this is just an excuse. Maybe she wanted...
She's playing the long game.
Yeah.
I don't know how stimulating Tom Brady would be to hang around and talk to. I think you have to I think you have to admire his motor. But I don't know if you're just hanging around and talking like Shatner-esque. I think you'd probably rather have a beer with Shatner.
I think so.
Not the first beer, the 151st beer. You know what I mean? Like the first beer, you'd want Brady. Like we should figure this out, Chris. But
how many beers?
You would like your first beer with him, but you'd like your 150th beer with Shatner, and your 150 through 2000 with Shatner. But Brady'd like that first beer with.
I think you're speaking Giselle's coded language. Maybe she's just kind of over it.
How does she have? I don't care. She has 400 million.
She's going to land on her feet for sure.
Is he going to take money off of her?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how that works.
I'm sure there's ironclad prenups. Yes.
I mean,
they both got it together, and they're very famous and wealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to both of them. I hope they find what they're looking for. Let's talk Alec Baldwin. So a couple new developments. He settled the lawsuit that from the fatal shooting on the set of Rust. So in terms of his agreement with the family of cinematographer Helena Hutchins, those haven't been disclosed. But his lawyer, Luke Nikas, says throughout this difficult process, everyone has maintained the specific desire to do what's best for Helena's son. The Hutchins family sued Baldwin as the producer on set, saying the proper safety precautions weren't taken, though unlikely, New Mexico could still charge Baldwin with a crime. But again,
they're
they say
going
that's
back
unlikely.
and completing the film.
Meanwhile,
too.
yes, they are going back, and Helena's widower, Matthew, will be a co-producer on the film. So I assume that's another revenue stream for the family.
Back to Garagos, like when he was screaming, don't do those interviews with Baldwin.
Don't stop on the side of the road. Don't talk to Leslie Stahl.
He sat down with, what's his name? Stephanopoulos?
Was
Who
it?
did he sit down
I thought
with?
It was a woman. I could be wrong.
Oh, was it a woman?
Yeah, that's why I said Leslie Stahl, but I could be wrong about her.
He sat down with somebody, and Garagos like, don't do it. Never do it. Always comes back to bite you in the ass, because he was like, he didn't squeeze the trigger, and the FBI forensic guy says the trigger was squeezed, and now you put yourself into some jeopardy. Chris will find it. But they're going to finish the picture. Did you see Bros?
I did.
Was it good?
Yes.
Oh, it is good.
It is good. Yeah. It's an elevated rom-com. Listen, I'm not going to convince anyone to see it or not see it. You're either in or you're out. No pun intended. It's smart. The fundamental flaw with Bros, I think, is that rom-coms, I've seen a lot, Gina. I'm sure you've seen many. You can watch them with your brain half on or mostly off. This movie's smart, and it asks you to keep your brain on and makes you think. And I don't think a lot of people are going to enjoy that aspect of a rom-com, gay or not.
It's a compliment, though.
Say that's the only reason I want to see it now.
It's a good movie. It's objectively good. I don't see how many people could say thumbs down.
The only rom-com I like.
It's getting good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, and that's the thing. Everyone's like,
but
oh, of course it
it
is.
tanked.
Nobody went to see it.
I have thoughts on that, too. People outside of, they're real movie enthusiasts, people go to see movies for movie stars. A-list movie. What's the last movie you saw in the theater?
Oh,
do you remember?
Nope.
Yeah, there.
Just answer the question. Stop being so negative.
But because of it was Jordan.
This cast
Peele.
is good and funny and great performances, top to bottom. They're not household names, and
Tops and bottoms.
Yeah, not their fault. It's just people aren't going to. The general audience, our moms are going to flock out to the theater to see a movie starring people they don't know.
All right, back to Tom Terrific.
Now I want to see the movie. Oh,
wait, Rust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Hollywood
back on.
will finish any tragedy movie. The tragedy.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think this one was. I thought this one was so publicized that it was like Dahmer's apartment building or something, and we got to tear it down.
On Twilight Zone, the movie, the lead actor and two others got fucking sliced in half.
I get it, but that was '89.
True.
Now it's everywhere, and also our sensibilities have changed. Like we used to be kind of the show must go on.
Right.
We're a little bit take a seat, relax.
Someone died on the set of The Dark Knight, and they came out.
That's right. Stephanopoulos.
I thought it was a woman. I don't know who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know one of the few Hollywood movies, you might not know this because it never came out, to be abandoned when the director / star was killed on set? It was the guy who I think did Death Race. You can look that up. He was going to do a follow-up to that, like a real action-y car race type movie. And I think a pole, like he crashed into a pole and like fell on him and killed him while doing a stunt or something. And they just scrapped the whole picture. This is like circa 1980.
Yeah, well, that did happen, I think, in...
I'm getting some details wrong, obviously, but that's basically...
Are you thinking of Gone in 60 Seconds?
Oh, that might be it. The original Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yeah, the guy got crazy
might have done
last
both.
name. No, he did Gone in 60 Seconds, I think, and then he was going to follow it up and, like, flew an airplane into a telephone pole or something.
Some tragedy
and he had
involving a giant
like
pole.
A.J. Kowalski or something. He had like it's sort of crazy. Who did Gone in the original Gone in 60 Seconds? Or God damn it, because Gone in 60 Seconds was Ron Howard. This guy did something else. Chris will
I had it in my mind as whatever I said earlier. The Death Race, but it was one of those movies.
It wasn't Death Race. It was Kowicki or something. The guy's name was like A.J. Kowicki or something. And I think he did the original Gone in 60 Seconds, which is he just shot kind of renegade and without permits and stuff in Los Angeles and became like a big cult classic.
Well, look at
One more. Chris will find it.
All
Someone
right.
will find it.
Well, let's move on to Whoopi Goldberg.
Who did the original Gone in 60 Seconds?
It was H.B. Haliki.
Well, it couldn't be
It
A.J.
could be A.J.
Kowicki.
Kowalski.
Yeah, so that's a totally different dude. Yeah,
he
all right.
die then
I'm going to
subsequently?
go with that guy,
Okay.
AJ.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still just looking for the information before I chime in here, so just give me a sec.
All right.
It's never stopped before.
So Whoopi Goldberg was criticized for wearing a fat suit in the movie Till that people are talking about. You know, the Emmett Till story. The
It's
only
called
problem,
sweatpants for Whoopi.
well, she agrees. She wasn't wearing a fat
Oh,
suit.
no.
Oh, I mean,
No.
listen.
So she's
you
going to
know
talk
that.
about it.
Listen, I got to tell you something. Whether you're, a rap star or whomever, Whoopi Goldberg comes out in the View. She's wearing a judicial robe at this point. Like she's fuck
frocked.
it. And people don't really realize that when you got to put on the tight jeans and you got to get that button done. Anyone male who stuffed themselves into an old suit or females try to put on the form-fitting jeans, it'll pinch and you'll go, fuck, I better back it off with the carbs. Like you get this thing. She shows up in more flowing shit. She's just, at this point, she's just taken a tarp and put a hole in it and just put her head through it, which enables her to put on as much weight as she wants because nothing ever pinches
Right.
It's the Aretha Franklin scenario.
on her. Yes, it's just, you need that pinch thing to go, "Ugh, I've overdone it.
Yeah.
Or I got to back it off.
Opposed to the elastic. So here's what happened. So that's a picture of her in Till. She agrees with you, but also has an excuse as well. The co-host, somebody explained that a critic said, like, about the movie, I found her fat suit distracting. And here's Whoopi's response.
This. I don't really care how you felt about the movie, but you should know that was not a fat suit. That was me. And that was steroids. Remember last year I had all
you were
and I was
very
very
sick.
And
You were
so
in the hospital.
And I assume you don't watch the show or you would have known that that was not a fat suit. But I just want to let you know that it's okay not to be a fan of a movie, but you want to leave people's looks out. So just comment on the acting, and if you have a question, ask somebody. Because I'm sure you didn't mean to be demeaning.
Speaking of demeaning, the message should be, please judge the movie on its merits and not by the looks of the stars. She kind of got that backwards.
Yeah.
Which is, you can think about whatever you want about the movie. It's like, well, just judge the movie on what it is.
Well, and so she was saying it was the steroids.
So she had a problem physically.
Yeah, she had like she had some like respiratory issue that landed her in the hospital.
Sign sounds familiar.
Steroids will give you the moon face.
Yeah.
All right, you got the AJ Kawicki or KJ
HB.
Kawicki.
Yeah, so they were attempting to do a sequel, Gone in 60 Seconds 2 in 89. And while filming,
89.
Halicki was preparing for a dramatic stunt sequence in the film, during which a 160-foot tall water tower was supposed to topple to the ground. When a cable attached to the tower snapped unexpectedly, it sheared off a telephone pole, which fell on Halicki, killing him instantly.
Well, there you go. And that was Gone in 60 Seconds. All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
This YouTube jack off. Have fun.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, let me tell you about my friend Jordan Harbinger. All right. Well, let's give some well-deserved plugs. Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. That's going to be a great fight. October 29th. Tickets on sale now. Showtime pay-per-view. Boldly Go, the name of Bill Shatner's book. Always a mention, always a delight. San Diego, Mic Drop Comedy, October 28th and 29th. We're going to do some live pods there and some stand-up there as well. And then Vegas, Wise Guys Comedy Club coming up November 2nd. You can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Jake Paul, William Shatner, Gina Grad, and Paul Bryan saying mahalo.